Yo, RX back with another recap of UFC Vegas 84, Ankalaev versus Walker 2. We back with the first recap of the year, and thankfully, we're recapping a pretty decent card. I thought this card was great. Like, out of the 11 fights, I could call maybe one fight bad. The other 11 were really good. So, I'm excited to recap this card. It's always good to recap a good card over a shit card, and yeah. We got a really good card to recap, so. Not very much to ramble about, besides, we back for the first recap of the year, like I said. And, yeah, I don't see why I ramble any longer, but, so let's just get right into it. Before I do, please like, comment, subscribe. 100 subs goal by the end of 2024. That's the goal for the year. I think we could hit it. Probably not, but I'll dream. I'm thankful for every sub I have anyway. And as always, let's recap some fights. I don't think I'm free to say anything. So, let's talk about the elephant in the room. I did say 11 fights. I did break down 12 in the breakdown. Why? Because we did lose a fight on weigh-in day. We lost Nikolas versus Manel Kopp, because Kopp is lazy and missed weight. The first fighter missed weight this year, and the first fighter get canned because of it this year. So, Kopp, you're gonna ruin your own career for your stupidity. And so, he's had 8 canceled fights. He's not been in UFC that fucking long. I'll give him only 2 of them are his fault, but this one is his fault. Make weight, dummy. And, yeah, Nikolas, like, he can't even get, I don't think he did not say no to the fight. The commission did, I believe, so, whatever. Sucks to lose that fight. We still have a great card nonetheless, so let's recap it. And we begin the night in the flyweight division with the first fight of the year, and it was a good one, as we have Joshua Van versus Felipe Bunes. Very, interesting fight. In round 1, Van, kinda just relaxed and took the round off. Bunes showed some good work, striking, using his reach very well, a little bit of wrestling, and he took round 1. Then round 2, Van woke up and said, okay, I'm gonna win this fight now, and he beat the shit out of Bunes on his way to a TKO late in the second. Joshua Van is really fucking good. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about Van first because this kid's scary good. So he takes round 1 off just to beat the shit out of you later in the fight. It's worked for a few people. Piotr Jan is definitely the top guy I think of when I think of that fighting style working. I guess Cheeto's another guy who's done it and it's worked to an extent. For Van, dude, it works though. Especially at flyweight, it works. He's lost round 1 in all 3 of his UFC fights. He is 3-0 in UFC. 2 of them are by decision, and he just finished doing the second round. That's how good he is. That says a lot. So, I'm a big fan of Van, and I think this dude's gonna be on a fucking issue in the UFC. 22 years old, and fucking dominating everyone he fights. Dude, he's going to be a problem. I'm very excited to see him get tougher competition, because I want to see how he does. To be honest, I think he's going to keep passing with flying fucking colors. His striking is so fucking slick. He's quick as shit. He's really fucking technical. Good power. He's really fucking good, and he's going to be a giant issue in the flyweight division for years to come. He's 22. What is his resume going to look like at 32? I can only imagine. Really good fucking performance of Josh Van, by Josh Van on short notice, no less. He stepped in for Dennis Bondar, so respect him on that one. And he starts off 2024 with a great performance. mad respect to the kid. He is a legit problem. Great fucking start to the year. And then for Felipe Bunes, he looked alright. He completely just had an adrenaline dump in round 2. So I don't want to call him a 1-round fighter yet, cause he did fight Van. You know, would this have happened against Zulgas or Dennis Bondar? I don't know. So I won't call him anything yet, but I definitely need to see how he does in his next fight against a lower level guy before I can make claims, because I'll give him benefit of the doubt. He looked good in round 1, and Josh Van's just really good. So I think Bunes can win some fights against some. I think he'd beat Dennis Bondar, but it's Dennis Bondar. So it's pretty much, let's see how he does in his next fight. I'm interested. I think the dude did look good in round 1, as I said. 34 years old. Trains with the Pitbull brothers, I guess. Let's see how he does with the next fight, I'll say. I won't write the kid off yet. Let's see how he does. But, yeah, right, not much more to say. Besides, I guess let's talk about who they should fight next for the first time this year. For Josh Van, you can really start talking rankings with him now. He's looking so good that if you gave him a rankings fight, I wouldn't be upset. I don't think they will, and I would say he should get one more unranked fight. Plus, who would really fight? Dvorak or Sumadarji? I really don't see them doing that. So who could Josh fight? Nascimento would be a very entertaining fight. I'd really like to see that. Cody Duran coming off a loss would be interesting. Brunno Silva would be a really good fight. I love that Brunno Silva fight, the more I think about it. Fucking again, Sumadarji or David Dvorak are possible options. I don't think they'll give him a rankings fight that quickly. I think they will have him have one more fight. But you never know, maybe I'm wrong. I'm really leaning to that Brunno Silva fight just because holy shit would that be a good fight. Like, god damn, Brunno's not ranked right now. He's been off for a hot minute. Well, he had one fight last year. Him and Van could be fucking fireworks. Dude, the striking between those two would be special. I'm fucking Joshua Van versus Brunno Silva. Book that shit, cause god damn would that be a fun fight. That screams fight of the night on any card. Book it. And then for Felipe Bunes, he definitely should get a step down, and he will. I don't know why you would give him a step up in competition from Josh Van, and if you are giving him a step up from Josh Van, you're trying to kill the kid. But, Tapology, if you want to stop being asked for 5 fucking minutes, it'd be nice. Can't tap. Thank you. No, dummy. Go. Thank you. But, who could Felipe fight? There are some options. Daniel Barres. Kevin Borjas is a fine option. Yeah, I say Kevin Borjas. Borjas had the same fate Bunes did, had to run into the problem that is Josh Van, so fuck it, let's have him fight. I'm down to see that. Fucking Borjas and Bunes, I think it'd be a very interesting fight, would answer a lot of questions about both guys, and I think it'd be a fun fight, so book it. Not very much more to say. Do it. But, yeah, not really much else to say about this fight besides Josh Van is really good. And I finally got, for the first time in maybe since 2021 maybe, and it might even be farther than that, I got the first pick of the year right. It wasn't a perfect, but I got it right. So I did not jinx Josh Van, thank God. But, yeah, very good fight to start the year. Josh Van is really fucking good. And who should they fight next? I love Joshua Van versus Brunno Silva, and I like Felipe Bunes versus Kevin Borjas. Van and Silva would be fucking amazing. and Bunes versus Borjas would be a good fight. It would be a good fight to see how good they are. So, yeah, I don't see why you wouldn't do both fights. I would be down to see both fights. And, yeah, really good way to start the year. Joshua Van is really good. After that, now we get interesting. So we got our first fraud check of the year. I fell for the trap of a DWCS fraud. God damn it. Our second fight of the night in the lightweight division, we have Nikolas Motta versus Tom Fraud Nolan. Well, to describe this fight quickly, because it was only 63 seconds, they strike a little bit, Van clips Nolan with a punch, ground and pound, it's over. Motta ends the hype train of the big train in 63 seconds. I'm happy for Motta, and it was funny as fuck, cause like, if you're on Twitter, you know how hyped up Tom Nolan is. To see him get starched like that by a can, it's like, bro, you fucking suck. Nikolas Motta, a dude who can only beat Cameron Van Camp. You're on the level of Cameron fucking Van Camp? Dude. Come on. Did Van Camp last longer? If Van Camp lasted longer, that's even worse. Van Camp went fucking almost 4 minutes, dog. You suck. You fucking suck. Dude, ugh. I'll talk about fucking the fraud and the thing. Respect to Nick Motta, bro. He's a terrible fighter. Complete can. He fucking fraud checked this motherfucker. Good for Motta. Like, is he going to get beat in his next fight? Yeah, to be honest. But good for him. Like, yeah. Good for him. I'm trying to talk about Motta more than Nolan. But, yeah, good for fucking Nick Motta. He keeps his job another day. I think the UFC booked this fight just to feed him to the wolves, so he kind of flipped them off in that regard. So that's cool. That's funny. It was funny, and yeah, he completely shits on everyone's parade and ends the Tom Nolan hype like that. So good for Motta, man. Good for Motta. And now for the idiot. You fraud bitch. You lost to a dude who could only be Cameron Van Camp, who got outclassed by Trey Ogden. Trey Ogden can beat that guy and you couldn't. Bruh. You fucking suck. Like, can't like I've heard people say, yes, he's 23 years old. Can he get better? Yes. Motherfucker, you better do some insane shit over your career to live this down. Nikolas Motta starched you in 63 seconds. Cameron Van Camp lasted 4 minutes almost. You're worse than Cameron Van Camp? I'm disappointed. So we have our first fraud of 2023, and I fell for it because he was my lock of the card. I'm an idiot. He sucks. Well, let's talk about who they should fight next. For Nick Motta, I hope they give him a decent fight. He fucking deserves it, because that was funny. That was very entertaining to watch. Who could he fight? Let's see. Not seen really any matchups. Not really seen any matchups I'm a giant fan of here. Let me go. I have one in mind that I'm shocked the fighter ain't on that page. I don't know if he's booked. I'm really just trying to see if who I have in mind is booked. Because if he's not, I'm down to see that fight. Yeah, fucking Mike Breeden. Mike Breeden and Nick Motta both coming off upset wins against prospects in great fashion. Fucking Nick Motta and Mike Breeden. I forget who I said Breeden should fight, but they're not going to do that fight. So let's do Motta and Breeden, the battle of the two the hype train killers. So let's do it. And then for the fraud, what are you going to do with him? You can't give him a much easier fight than motherfucking Nikolas Motta. Who are you going to give him? Roosevelt Roberts? Austin Hubbard? First of all, even if he did win those, you beat the bottom of the barrel. They might not even be in the barrel of how bad they are. Second of all, if he loses, you cut his ass in a heartbeat. If he were to lose those fights, to Roosevelt or Austin, you cut him before they leave the goddamn cage. Cause that would be the most pathetic shit I've ever fucking seen. I don't fucking know. Good luck booking this guy, UFC. I'm happy they didn't put him on a card with like Volk or some shit. Like, I'm a little shocked they didn't put him on 298 with Volk and all the Australians. It's a good thing they did now, cause he would look fucking stupid. So, yeah, he, fraud. But, yeah, this fight was hilarious. I was not even, like, usually I'm mad when I get, like, especially a lock or, like, a prospect pick wrong. Here I just laughed, cause it was funny as fuck. So, this was funny, and, Motta, good job. Who should they fight next? I like Nikolas Motta versus Mike Breeden and Tom Nolan. Who cares? So, Motta and Breeden, again, the two hype train killers. Book it, I think. And that would probably be a pretty fun fight also. So, yeah, I don't see why you wouldn't do that fight. Or you have him go beat another prospect. I don't know if you can find a prospect as bad as Nolan, so good luck. But, yeah, not very much more to say. I'm happy for Nikolas Motta. This was funny. And, good job. After that, not gonna waste much time on this fight. It went exactly as anyone with a fucking brain predicted. Because it was so predictable, because it's one of the worst fighters in the UFC. We have, in our third fight of the night, Jean Silva versus Westin Wilson. I'll keep this very short and very sweet. Silva smashed Wilson in 4 minutes and 12 seconds. It's kind of an L. It took you that long to beat him. But either way, you beat one of the worst fighters on the roster. Good job. There you go. You get one clap. No fight ideas. I don't care. Cut Westin Wilson. I'm still not impressed with Jean Silva. I still say he shouldn't have got a contract. And until he impresses me, I'm sticking with that. The Battle of the Cans. The guy who is 10 times better compared to Westin Wilson won. Shock. Next. After that, we had to our fourth fight of the night, the first decision of 2024, and a very good fight that showed a lot about both guys. A very high level prelim fight between Farid Basharat versus Taylor Lapilus. Very good fight, and God, did Farid Basharat really good. For pretty much 15 minutes, Farid was able to mess up Taylor with the wrestling, and when they were striking, Farid was doing better at times. So, his game plan was clearly, I'm going to wrestle him, and I'm going to throw him off with the wrestling, and he did. By round 2, Lapilus was so focused on the wrestling, he was striking really bad, and he was losing the striking exchanges after a while, and by round 3, it was fucking done. So, yeah, really just perfect game planning by Farid, really good execution of the game plan, and this kid is really fucking good. He might be as good as his brother, and he might be. I'm excited to see how Javid looks against Amin Zahabi in a couple months. So, but as of right now, Farid is really fucking good, and I'll talk about him first. Yeah, he is really good. I'll chalk up his debut, which was a very underwhelming performance, as Damon Blackshear is really fucking good. These last 2 performances he's had, though, he's looked great. Like, smashing Clayton Rodriguez and getting a submission, beating Taylor Lapilus pretty easily as 30-27 is very impressive. I'm impressed across the board with Farid. Like, I'm very impressed. Breaking down the Clayton fight, I said Javid was a hands down better brother. By now, it's very close. And I think that's as good of an accomplishment as Farid can get at this moment, because he's still climbing his way up, and I can't wait to see him fight tougher competition like his brother, because I think they're both going to look good. And it just shows the depths of bantamweight, that guys like this are so under the radar. People have pretty much forgotten about Javid, and Farid is fucking looking like another giant problem on the heap of giant problems. On this card alone, in the next fight, there's another giant problem we're going to talk about, and then on the main card, there's two great fighters we're going to talk about. The bantamweight is the best division in the UFC right now, because of its depths. Are the rankings great? No, there's a couple bad fighters. Rob Font, Dominic Cruz, etc. But when we're talking about if we're talking just what division has the best unranked list of fighters, it's bantamweight, and it's not close. The next closest I could say is probably middleweight, or maybe lightweight. Feather's pretty good. Welterweight's alright. Strawweight's okay. But bantamweight, you could make a top 15 out of unranked guys, and it would stack up very well against some divisions. Like, just to name some guys off top of my head: the Basharat brothers, Marcus McGhee, fucking Kyler Phillips, Raul Rosas, fucking Mario Bautista. That's going to change on Monday, but still, like, so much fucking talent in that division that's unranked. It's sickening. So, Farid, let's see you keep climbing your way up that very stacked division. And then for Taylor Lapilus, yeah, it's kind of lame to see him lose so quickly in his second UFC run, but I think he has a level. He's very good. He's a very good fighter. I think he can definitely do some good work in the division, and he's only 31, but I think this shows he's going to turn. I think he's going to be like a Cody Stamann or a Douglas Silva de Andrade. He's going to be a really good fighter. Oh, yeah, I don't know why I said Cody Stamann. Cody Stamann fucking sucks. He's going to be like a Douglas Silva de Andrade. He's going to be a very good veteran fighter in the bantamweight division, but he's never going to be ranked. He's never going to be able to beat these great prospects, but he can beat your guys like that fucking Callan kid, or he could probably do some pretty good work against some guys I'm not thinking of that are prospects. But he's never going to beat Kyler, Bautista, Basharat, fucking people like that. So he's a very good fighter. And if he was in a different division, he could be a top 15 dude, possibly. He's in bantamweight in 2024, which is so good, it's fucking stupid. So, yeah. Not much to say. Lapilus will be back. Simple. And now to talk about who they should fight next. For Farid Basharat, 3 in a row, keeping his O. Who can he fight next? There's a lot of good options for him. He definitely deserves like a step up in competition. I think like 3 wins in a row is when you really should be getting a good step up. And who could he fight? Castaneda would be a really good fight. Douglas Silva de Andrade, who I just talked about, would be a very good fight. I liked that Douglas Silva fight. That'd be good, and I really like that John Castaneda fight. I'm liking that Douglas Silva fight. I don't know why. I think that'd be very good. I think that'd be a really good test for Farid. And unless I see a better fight for Douglas, which I doubt I will, I am really liking that Farid fight. Yeah, fuck it. Farid Basharat versus Douglas Silva de Andrade. That'd be a very decent fight. And that'd be a really good test for Farid. So fuck it, book it. I'm down. I would be very excited for that fight. So let's do it. And then for Taylor Lapilus, I don't really think you can give him, like, you can give him a step down if you want, but I'd say give him another pretty decent fight, because he's a very decent fighter. So you can give him, like, a Miles Johns, Sergey Morozov, Cody Stamann. I think that Cody Stamann fight would be pretty decent. Or Blackshear, someone like that. You can give him, I'll say Cody Stamann. I think that'd be a very decent fight. Two veterans going at it. I think that'd be fun. Victor Henry, another good option. So, you have some options for Taylor. I think they'll pick a good one. And, yeah. But it's hard to book a bad fight at bantamweight unless you're booking Marab. So, whatever. But, yeah. Very, very, very good high-level fight, which is crazy to call a bantamweight fight high level. English is definitely my only language, and I don't even speak it well. And, yeah, very impressed with Farid. And who should they fight next? I like Farid Basharat versus Douglas. I'm a fucking idiot. Douglas Silva D. Andrade. And I like Taylor Lapilus versus Cody Stamann. Farid and Andrade, really good fight, really good test for Farid. Lapilus and Stamann, battle of two veterans, would probably be a very good fight. I'm down to see both. So, yeah, not very much else to say. Very impressed with Farid, very good fight, and yeah, let's move on to the next fight. After that, we had to our fifth fight of the night, and another great bantamweight fight with another great bantamweight problem, as we have Marcus McGhee versus Gaston Bolaños. Holy fuck, is Marcus McGhee great! In round one, in round one, Bolaños learned real quick, you don't want to trade with McGhee. That dude hits hard. And he's really good at striking. And McGhee was able to really do good work in that round, hurt Bolaños and win round one. Round two, he just went into fuck you, I'm going to knock you out mode. And he did. He dropped Bolaños really bad and then beat him up a little more on the feet until the ref stepped in, called the fight, it was over. Standing TKO. Marcus McGhee is a giant problem at bantamweight. He is so good. It's crazy that he's only 10 fights into his career and 33 years old. Dude, I'm gonna say what I was gonna. I'm gonna save what I was gonna say for a later fight on the main card. But dude, he is so talented. His striking is great. His ground game is good. Dude, this dude's gonna be an issue. He just fucking dominated like a dude who's a pro kickboxer. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, yeah, like, Bolaños has done not a shit ton, but he's done kickboxing. And McGhee just made him look like a fucking amateur. Like, fuck. That's insane. He hits hard as fuck. He's really good at striking. He's Vanderlei Silva's fucking son, look-alike. Dude, he was one of the best rookies from last year. He's going to fucking, I don't even know what he's gonna do this year. By the end of this year, who knows where he's gonna be? If you tell me, if he ended the year in the top 15, I'm not shocked. I'll be more shocked if he fucking doesn't. He is that good. Like, if we're talking about, like, the best unproven fight, like, I don't want to call it unproven, the best prospects at bantamweight right now, he might top that list. And, like, I know the criteria for that is really scuffed at times. So, for my criteria, I'm not counting Kyler Phillips, Bautista, the Basharat boy. Well, no, I'll count the Basharats, but even counting the Basharats, between Javid and McGhee, I might lean Marcus. He's been a little more impressive. So, Marcus is so fucking good, and I'm happy to do that. This time last year, he was fighting in fucking LFA, beating tomato cans, and now he's 3 fights in the UFC, and 3 bonuses, by the way. He's got performance of the night for all 3 of his wins, and he deserves it, man. He is very, very good. I'm happy for the guy. Talk about the opponent, Gaston Bolaños. Gaston, he's a good fighter. Like, I think his run in the UFC is gonna be pretty predictable. I think we've seen fighters like him before. He's gonna win some, he's gonna lose some. He is a talented fighter. He does have good striking. Marcus McGhee is just a different level. So, and that Aaron Phillips fight was a red flag to an extent, because again, that was not the best performance in the world. You definitely should be having a stronger performance against Aaron Phillips than Bolaños did, and that was definitely a red flag for me going into this fight. So, am I shocked that he got smashed? No. I would have been more shocked if he didn't get smashed to an extent. Like, he's good. He is a good fighter, but when you have I don't want to call it a close fight, but a very kind of a meh performance against Aaron Phillips, that's a red flag. And that flag turned very bright red in this fight, and he got his ass beat. So, yeah, Ilya's twin brother did not have a good night. So, yeah. Now to talk about who they should fight next. For Marcus McGhee, I hope they give him a really good fight. No, I'm not gonna say a rankings fight, 'cause that's fucking stupid. That's too early. One more win, you can say, but no. I would give him someone like Miles Johns, John Castaneda, Victor Henry, someone like that. I like that Miles Johns fight. I think Miles Johns would be a very good fight. I think that'd be a fun one. Yeah, I'm down to see that Miles Johns fight. That would be a step up. And yeah, I'm not really, out of all the options, I think that's the one I like the most, because it makes sense. It's a step up, but not a giant one. If he wins that and in an impressive fashion, as he should, then yeah, you can give him a fucking ranking fight, or pretty much one. Like, if let's say he smashed Miles Johns like he probably should, you can start giving him a Adrian Yanez, a John Castaneda, Montel Jackson, etc. So, yeah, I would be very down to see that, but he needs one more win, and I think Miles Johns could be that one more win that he needs, so, book it. And then for Gaston, you could give him a lot of guys. There's a lot of like Luan Lacerda, I don't know what the fuck happened. Lacerda would be a good one. Victor Hugo, Cladeson. You got some options for him. I out of all those options, I like that Cladeson fight. That'd be entertaining. But I guess you can go Victor Hugo. I think that's a fine fight. But yeah, you can give him pretty much anyone. He's good, but he really if you give him a step down like that, like a Victor Hugo, let's say, he better put on a good performance, because yes, he has a win in the UFC, but again, it was a very bad performance against Aaron Phillips. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Gaston, I'm not gonna call it fraud or anything, because no, he was not even that hyped up, to be honest. He just got a win, so, against a terrible fighter. So, yeah. But, yeah, not very much more to say. Marcus McGhee is really, really good. And who should they fight next? I like Marcus McGhee versus Miles Johns, and Gaston, give him a good step down. So, yeah, McGhee and Johns would be a really good fight. I would be down to see it, so let's do it. Not very much more to say. McGhee is a fucking problem. I'm happy for him. And now, time for the featured prelims. Since we lost Manel Kape and Mateus Nikolas, we are going into the welterweight division to end the prelims with a fight between Preston Parsons versus Matt Semelsberger. This fight was weird. This fight was annoying to watch as someone who picked Semelsberger. So for pretty much 15 minutes, Parsons just outclassed Semelsberger, and it's fucking annoying because on paper, I made a tweet. I said this before this fight, so I'm not saying this in fucking hindsight. On paper, Semelsberger should probably win this fight pretty easily. But he's a pro underperformer. And what did he do in this fight? Underperform. Like, just do that. Like, Semelsberger is a UFC level fighter. He has a good amount of talent. He just keeps having these fucking performances, like the fight versus Euros, or the fight versus who else did he fucking lose to? Fucking Chaos. Oh no, Brunno, where he just fucking does not show up. Like, on paper, this probably should have been a win. This should have been a win. This should be a win. This was a robbery. This is the only loss on his record where I'm like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, Chaos is good. Like, dude, how the fuck do you keep underperforming to your potential? Like, his potential's not even, his potential is about I would say a very good unranked guy. I don't think he'd be top 15, but he could easily be a very good unranked guy who gets a good amount of wins, but he definitely would lose some. He's not even that, he's just not good. Like, he's just an under-fucking performer. I've seen him perform to his talent one time. I listened to Jake Matthews. And twice. I guess AJ Fletcher too. Like, besides that, he KO'd 2 cans. I don't even know who the fuck this is. So, like, Semelsberger is one of the most frustrating fighters to break down consistently and pick, because if you pick against him, he's going to fucking perform out of his mind. If you pick him, he's going to fucking not show up. It's so annoying to have, like, and he's not the only fighter like this. There's many guys like that in the UFC, I believe, but he might be at this point one of the kings of it, because he does it at such a consistent rate, and he's doing it against guys he should beat. Like, if he was losing to guys like Michael Morales, Phil Rowe, and fucking Nikolas Dalby, okay, fine, yeah, you're at least underperforming against guys who are very good. You're fucking doing it against Preston Parsons and fucking Neuros Medic. Huh? I don't know, he's a fucking annoying to watch after a while, and it might be the end of his UFC career, because no matter what I think about the Jeremiah Wells fight, he is 1-4 in his last 5. That's a terrible look, so, yeah. And, of course, gotta talk about the winner, who, Preston fucking Parsons. Is he a good fighter? No. Can he win fights? Yeah. He is like a watered down. I'm trying to think who's a good comparison for him. Maybe like a Ricky Simón, a watered down Ricky Simón. Like, his striking is very underwhelming. His ground game is good. His gas tank did look improved in this fight. His gas tank did definitely seem like it did last about the whole fight. So, respect him on that part. And his striking did look a little better. His kicks did look really good. He was really, I think he made Semelsberger drop to a knee twice on kicks. So, good job on that part. Yeah, he did look very improved in this fight from his fight a year ago against Giles. So, I don't know if he can keep this streak going, get another win, but like this case, he looked good. So his main problem, his gas tank looked better. So yeah, respect him on that part. And now to talk about who they should fight next. Now, yeah, I don't got much to say about Preston Parsons. I know, my bad. For Parsons, coming off a nice win, you can give him some decent fights. And you're not gonna give him no fucking like great fight, but you give him someone like a Nico Price, Jake Matthews maybe that's too high of a jump, but yeah, someone like Nico Price would be alright, or Euros Medic. I think either one of those would be pretty decent opponents. So I'm trying to think if there's anyone else I can think of or find, I guess would be not really. So yeah, I guess I'll say Euros match. I think that's a decent matchup for him, and he deserves it. So yeah, let's have him fight Euros. So book it. And then for Semelsberger, as I said, I don't know if he's gonna fight in the UFC again. 11-7 record, which looks terrible. 3 in a row on paper. 1 win in his last 5. He might get cut. Would I cut him? I'd give him one more fight, but I don't know what the UFC is gonna do. So I'm intrigued to see who they give him, if they give him another fight. But I definitely, A, am probably not gonna fucking pick him, and B, I'm not 100% sure if he will get that second fight. So good luck to Matt, and if he does get cut, then good luck wherever you go. I think you'll do good if you actually fucking perform. So yeah, not much to say. But yeah, not very much more to say about this fight. Besides, I like the idea of Parsons versus Medic. I think it'd be a good fight. Makes sense for both. Parsons coming off a win against Matt. Euros coming off a loss against that one dude. So makes sense in my opinion. So let's do it. And yeah, not very much more to say. Good performance by Parsons. Good fight overall. Good way to end the prelims. So those were the prelims. Really good prelims. When you have 6 fights, 4 KOs, 2 decisions, and all the fights were good. Like, that's impressive. You had a great performance by a great prospect, a great upset. That was okay. This was great. This was great, and this was good. That's a very impressive prelims. Like, I'm very happy they did make a really good card to end the year. I know I'll say that again at the end of the video, but for especially the prelims being very decent, I'm happy. Now we head to the main card, which was good. So it was a very good main card, and the bad thing, we don't start off with a good fight. We have easily the worst fight on the card here, as we begin the main card with Waldo Cortes-Acosta versus Andrei Arlovski. Yeah, this fight sucked. Long story short, if you missed it, and if you did, I will not be upset because this fight sucked ass. For 15 minutes, Waldo was just fucking dancing around, being stupid, doing the bare minimum to get a decision win. So yeah, very shit performance by Waldo against a guy he should have KO'd in round 1. And I made the joke that he was going easy on him. He didn't want to hurt Andrei. Like, I know it seems, of course, it's a joke, but it's definitely fucking seemed that way to an extent. But and he was doing a lot, especially in the later rounds. He was doing a lot of dancing and taunting. It was fucking annoying, and just a shit performance by Waldo, who made me change my tune a little bit after his last fight, and now my tune's right back to being, yeah, this dude's not very good. Like, if you look at his career, UFC career, and I told me you're tweeting it was fucking perfect. He's had 5 fights in the UFC. He had a very close fight with Jared Vandera, who sucks ass. He couldn't finish Chase Sherman. He lost to DeLima, that's fine, DeLima's very good. He KO'd a Can and Bretsky, and he fucking decisioned Arlovski and doesn't even look good doing it. This dude is not very good. He is lucky that he fucking was fighting Arlovski at 50, who doesn't throw leg kicks or wrestle, because he would have lost with how he performed tonight. If he performed like he did tonight against Vandera, he would have lost. And he almost did lose. Like, he's not very good, and when he fights another guy to the level of De Lima, he will lose again. He's not very good. Like, I tried to say, okay, he's fine. He's a decent fighter. After the Bresky fight, I was like, okay, he looks improved. He looks like a better fighter. And then he comes out and embarrasses himself like a fucking idiot to begin 2024. So, yeah, he's definitely the biggest loser of the night. Just be outside of out of people who won, because he fucking embarrassed himself. No one actually fucking likes him after this performance. No one liked him after his fucking other performances. And this was just a joke. It was a fucking joke. So, yeah, not even a funny one. Come on. And, of course, I have very, very little to say about Arlovski. The main thing I'll say is it's time to hang him up, brother. You're done. Like, you went on a nice winning streak against shit fighters. It's time to retire. I hope they put him on 300 and he dips. He retires. I don't think they will. I 100% seeing him retiring on an Apex card, which will fucking be annoying. But I will not be shocked if that happens, and I'll be upset if it does. So, I hope that doesn't happen. It probably will. At least retire on a fight night with a crowd. He deserves it. But yeah, this should be Arlovski's last year of fighting. And he should not make it through the year. Like, he should retire. International Fight Week, UFC 300, something like that. Just retire, man. It's time. So, sorry, it sucks to say about a legend, but now it's officially time. He couldn't do shit, and like, Waldo was being, like, it was sad to an extent to see Arlovski just be so unable to really do anything in return to give this dude karma for being a fucking asshole. So, yeah, it's time for the Pitbull to retire. And no fight ideas, because I don't care. Waldo is a fucking embarrassment after this fight, and Andrei, who the fuck are you gonna give him at? He's fought everyone. Fuck. Who are you gonna feed him to, UFC? Embarrassing. Whatever. On to the next fight, which delivered as expected to be a knockout, and that's what we got. And I'm so shocked the guy that got knocked out was who got knocked out. As we go to our second fight of the night in the middleweight division between Brunno Ferreira versus Phil Hawes. Yeah, they definitely had a little filling out process early, and then the fireworks start going. Brunno got a takedown. Phil ate a knee to the face, and then with about 5 seconds left on the clock, Brunno drops Phil and 3 hammer fists, and it's over. Yeah, Phil got KO'd again. Is anyone surprised? No. I'll talk about Phil first actually here, because I think there's a little more to say. As I've been saying, and I said in my breakdown, and I'll keep saying it, Phil has talent. He does not have the chin. He has no fucking chin. Like, he's been KO'd 3 times now in the first round in a row, 4 times in the UFC career, and he's just not, he can't take, at middleweight, he can't fucking take that damage. He has a really weak chin that is easily cracked. And it's sad to say, but that was his downfall in UFC. And I say that in a past tense because I think he should be cut at this point. 35 years old, three brutal KOs in a row, and he's not won a fight since 2022, and he's not beat anyone good since 2021. So he'd be better off going to PFL, Bellator, well, that's the same thing, PFL, 1, LFA, fight some lower level dudes that you can beat without taking much damage and getting KO'd, and just retire. He's 35, maybe a couple more years fighting. Spend that getting some wins in the LFA or whatever, and retire. I don't think we need to see him get KO'd a 4th time in a row. It's just unnecessary damage at this point, and I think it's time for him to probably get cut, so, yeah. And then for Bruno Ferreira, he did what he should have done. He KO'd Phil Hawes in the 1st round and walked away for his 2nd W in the UFC. Yeah, he bounced back very well after his 1st career loss. I am impressed by that, and he looked good. He for how he's built and how he fights in his record, he does fight smart. And if he does start mixing in his ground game more into his fighting, he could really be a decent problem in that division. Because he has a lot of power. He is a good striker. I don't know how the Gaston can hold up, and his wrestling, his grappling, we've not seen that much of. But we did see a little today. It did look decent, and yeah, he could be. He could really be a tough matchup for a lot of guys. So yeah, he's good. Brunno's good. Good way to bounce back after your 1st career L. But now we talk about who they should fight next. For Brunno, you give him something pretty decent. I think he deserves that. Since he's now 2-1, he did call out Shara. Bullet, that's not gonna happen. More likely for him to fight John Young Park, I would be down to see. Yeah, I think John Young Park would probably be a good fight, because Park is coming off that embarrassing fight performance against fucking Muniz. Yeah, not really seen much else for Ferreira. And I don't really see a better matchup for Park. So yeah, I'm down to see that. Brunno and John Young. Let's do it. That'd be a pretty decent fight, I think. And then for Phil Hawes, as I said, I think he should get cut. Because all you're going to do is give him another fight that he gets KO'd in, and then you'll cut him. So let's just rip the band-aid off now and cut him. So sorry Phil, but it's time. But yeah, not very much more to say. Good fight, predictable fight, and who should they fight next? I like Bruno Ferreira versus John Young Park, and Phil, see you around, brother. Brunno and Park could be a very good fight that they should do. Not very much else to say. Good performance by Brunno. After that, we head into our 3rd fight of the main card. We head back to bantamweight for another banger, and this fight was easily the best fight on the card. God damn, was it good. As we have Mario Bautista versus Ricky Simón. What a fight, god damn. Round 1 was very close. Bautista looked very good early. Good combinations, stuff like that. Late in the round, he did throw a knee that got, and he got hit as he did look like a knockdown. So round 1 was a coin flip. You can score it either way. I gave it to Bautista. I thought he did the better work, more decent work than Simón did. So I give Bautista round 1. But no matter what you get, however you score round 1. Bautista easily won the last 2 rounds on his way to a bare minimum 29-28 W. Great fucking performance by Bautista. Like, I thought there was a chance he wins this fight, but I didn't think it'd be dominant. Like, he dominated Simón in round 2 and 3. Better striking, fucking good takedown defense most of the fight, good combinations, good power. He looked fucking amazing. Like, this is the Mario Bautista we should saw against him on Blackshear. Like, this is the best he's ever looked. Like, cause I remember these fights against Benito and Guido. Yeah, he looked fine, but those against fucking bad fighters. He just fucking dominated a really, really good fighter in Ricky Simón on his way to an upset win. Like, dude, Simón last year was a favorite against Song Yadong, and he just got 30-27 by Mario Bautista. Like, dude, Mario Bautista is really good. Like, a lot of people counted him out this week, and I get it. Like, on paper, he probably should have lost this fight, coming off a bad performance against Blackshear, and there's a world where Simón wrestles his way to a win. But we ain't in that world, man. We're in a world where Bautista looks amazing and gets the W. So, yeah, I'm happy for Mario, and now that I get to talk about what I was gonna say for Marcus, holy shit, does the MMA lab have fucking bantamweight talent? In one division, they have Sean O'Malley, UFC champion, Kyler Phillips, a great fighter, Mario Bautista are now a ranked fighter who's great, and Marcus McGhee who's running through everyone and looking amazing doing it. Dude, that's 4 top tier fighters in a division. What the fuck? A fucking camp would be lucky to have one guy in a division be good. They have 4 dudes in one division. They got Jared Cannonier. They fucking have a couple. They have a couple other people outside of family. They have fucking Alex Caceres, who's great. Brian Barberino, who he's old. Jared Cannonier, Dakar Close. Clayton Carpenter, who's really good. Like, dude, they have so much talent. It's that. By the end of this year, that might be one of, if not the best camp in MMA. Good dude. There's a possibility that at one point in time, the bantamweight rankings have Sean O'Malley as champion, Mario Bautista, Kyler Phillips, and Marcus McGhee ranked. Dude, that's fucking insane. 4 dudes from the same camp who are friends ranked is insane. In a tough division? Bruh. Dude, with respect to the lab, they know how to do their bantamweights. And now for Ricky Simón. Ricky's a good fighter, but he's hit his ceiling. He's a top 15 through 10 guy. He's never going to be champion. He's never going to be top 5, 6, 7. But he'll be top 15. Like, he's good enough to be a top 15 dude, because he's a very good fighter. He just looked... Bautista just had the perfect game plan for him, and just stopped everything his wrestling was stopped by the knees. His striking was just outclassed, and he just couldn't hang with Bautista. And that's crazy fucking statement to say, but it's true. So Simón's a really good fighter. So he's 31 years old. He'll bounce back. He'll come back. I doubt he'll get kicked out of the rankings. Most likely, what they'll do is move Chris Gutierrez after rankings and move Umar and Ricky down and put Bautista at 13th, I'm guessing. So, and I'm down to see that. I think that makes the most sense. So, yeah, that'd be cool. And, Ricky will bounce back. He's a good fighter. He's not gonna crumple under some pressure. So, he's lost before. Fucking dude got KO'd by Uriah Faber in 46 seconds. He'll bounce back. But, not really much more to say. Besides, who should they fight next? For Mario Bautista, he's now ranked in the top 15, so he's gonna fight in the top 15. But who, though? There's some options. Johnson Martinez is looking for a fight, but I doubt they do that fight. Pedro Munoz is not booked, is he? Oh, he's fighting Wow. Fuck. I don't know. Like, the problem here is you got Martinez and Bautista in the same spot. They both should probably fight Rob Font, but Font can only fight one of them. So you're kind of in a fucked position here. I guess let's see who gets the Rob Font. You could do Martinez and fucking Bautista, but I'd rather see those two not fight each other right now. I like to see prospects grow before fighting each other, so I'm guessing, let's see who can get let's say if Martinez gets the Rob Font fight, then you could do Bautista versus, what is Dominic Cruz? Actually, no, fuck it. I say do Bautista and Rob Font and Johnson Martinez can fight Dominic Cruz since he wants that fight so bad. Yeah, that's what I do. That's what I would do. Yeah, I like that way more. Do that. Yeah. Yeah, do that. So, Mauro Bautista versus Rob Font. Book it. I think that, yeah, I like that way more. So, yeah, and then for Ricky Simón, he's gonna, of course, fight up the rankings. He's not gonna fight up in the rankings, and the only guy under him is Umar, and he's not gonna fight Umar. So, who does he fight? Saeed as an option. Montel Jackson's an option. Probably those are his main two options, Montel and Saeed. You could do either. I would be down to see either fight. I might say Saeed, to be honest. Yeah, fuck it, Saeed and Ricky Simón. That'd be an amazing fight, and makes a lot of sense. So let's do it. Not really much else to say in that regard. But yeah, amazing fight, easily the fight of the night. How it didn't get that bonus, I'll never know. And yeah, who should I fight next? I like Mauro Bautista versus Rob Font, and I like Ricky Simón versus Saeed Nurmagomedov. Bautista and Font would be a really good fight, and it makes a lot of sense. Simón and Saeed would be a really good fight, and it would make a lot of sense. Book them both, and great performance from Mauro Bautista, man. Really impressed, and really shut a lot of people up. Great performance. And now it's time for the co-main event of the evening, and a legend did what he does best, as we have Jim Miller versus Gabriel Benítez. Jim Miller still doing what he does best, man, being a fucking legend, winning fights. I can give you the good news. He did not take much damage. He'll probably be on 300. The other good news, he won. So, yeah. In round 1, it was pretty much a striking match, and Miller did do the better work. In round 2, he did shoot a takedown about halfway through the round and keep him there. So it was 2-0 Miller going into the third, and in round 3, it was striking early. He did really great work with leg kicks. And then he shot a takedown, got to the back, and eventually got a neck crank to get the W. Jim Miller, man, back to getting submissions. First submission in a while, it feels, since he subbed Cowboy in 2022. So, yeah, Jim Miller, like, it's insane that he's 40 years old and still fighting it. Dude, he might be a better fighter now than he was like 10 years ago. He is so good, right? Like, he is fighting at such a high level. His striking looks good. We know he's one of the best fucking wrestlers in the fucking UFC. So, it's just like, god damn, how is this dude 40 and looks this good? And then you look at guys like Clay Guida and Andrei Arlovski, who are fucking I think Guida might be younger, or about the same age. Arlovski's 4 years older, and they look, if you showed me Jim Miller tape and then showed me Clay Guida and Arlovski tape, I guess Jim Miller is like maybe 30 at the oldest. And the other two are in their fucking 60s. So, he's a fucking legend. And I'm so happy that he's going to be on 300. He deserves it. And I hope he does retire on the card, because that's the perfect retirement spot for him. Be on 300, win on 300, retire. Yeah, I hope he does that. And then for Gabriel Benítez, not much to say. He looked okay, but Miller's just a better fighter. Benítez will be back. I don't know if he'll win, but he'll be back. I don't know if he'll fight. But yeah, he's 35 years old. Let's see what they do with him. And now, time for the fucking question of the day. Who the fuck is Jim Miller gonna fight at 300? There's so many options. He did call out someone that I did not consider before as an opponent, but I do love the idea. Paul Felder. Dude, I am so down to see him and Felder 300. They both want to be on that card. Who else could you give Miller at this point also? Like, there's really no one else for Miller to fight. Like, who? Who are you gonna fucking give him? I don't really know anyone else you can give him that would be to that level of, yeah, dude, that'd be great. Like, I'm just not seeing it. Like, Clay Guida, but they've already fought twice, I believe. Fucking, there's really no other legends for him to fight outside of Clay Guida. And again, we just seen what, like, I would love to see him and Tony, but I don't think Tony's gonna fight that quick. Like, Paul Felder's a perfect fight. I hope they do that shit, because that'd be fucking amazing. Do it. Please, do it. And then for Benítez, I don't know, give him somebody. He'll be a good fight with someone. Trevor Peak, Ash Moose, Esteban Rabovic, someone like that. Just give him someone to have a fun war with. Pretty simple. But yeah, Jim Miller's a fucking legend. Can't wait to see him on 300. And I would love to see him and Paul Felder. He also called out Matt Brown. That's another fight I fucking love. But I think that Felder fight's just too perfect not to do. I hope they do it. No one on earth would complain about that. Book it. Please book it. I am so excited for Jim Miller 300 news. It's gonna be amazing. So, but we all love Jim Miller. And if this is his last fight night performance and like a lot of things, thank you, Jim, and we can't wait to see you at 300. What a fucking legend. And now for the main event of the evening. Yeah, am I shocked? Not really. We have Magomed Ankalaev versus Johnny Walker. Pretty simple fight to recap. In round 1, Ankalaev just let Johnny do Johnny things, dance around, throw crazy kicks, blah blah blah. Johnny took round 1, and then Ank really woke up in round 2. He really pushed the pace, and eventually he got Walker off balance, nailed him with a right hand, dropped him up against the cage. One more good punch that looked like it shattered Johnny's nose, and he got the knockout W. Yeah, Ank's really fucking good. Yeah, I really don't need to tell you, Ankalaev is very good. I did say he is getting overrated by people, but that's people who think he is the best lightweight and shit. He's not. These two are if you flip Alex and Magomed right here, yeah, that's the correct ranking. Magomed I cannot call better than Yuri or Alex yet. I just can't. And until he fights one of them, and let's say he beats them, I cannot call Magomed better than Alex or Yuri, and I will not. So, Ank's very, 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 very good. He's not Alex or Yuri yet. So, yeah. But yeah, he's really good. And then for Johnny, Journeyman Johnny. We've always known his chin is sus, and it showed its head again here. Yeah, I'm not shocked. We all know Johnny's chin has always been very questionable, so I'm not fucking shocked. And, it seems like Johnny Walker's career is pretty much set in stone. He's going to float around the top 10 for a couple more years, get some wins, take some L's, and that'll be that. He has all the talent in the world, but with the way he fights and him having such a weak chin, especially with how good light heavyweight is right now, it looks like his title aspirations are pretty much dust. So, yeah. I'm gonna keep cheering for Walker because he seems like the coolest, such a cool dude. And he's a great fighter to watch, but he definitely does not seem like he's going to be climbing the rankings any higher than he already has at this point. So, yeah, very, I'm not shocked that Ank dropped him. That was all, with Johnny Walker, that's always a possibility, because again, he is such a chinny fighter. So, yeah, I'm not very, surprised. Now, for the big talk conversation, who should they fight next? I'm going to say it. Ank should be the backup for Jamal and Alex and then fight the winner. But he should get a title shot. Yes, but Jamal vacated the belt, so he should be in line first. Sorry, those are the rules. The only reason Ank should get a title shot before Jamal is if Jamal cannot make 300, because we know Pierre's on 300. If Jamal can make 300, then Ank waits till Alex beats Jamal. If Hill can't make 300, you do Magomed and Alex at 300. Simple as shit. Get it? Cool. And then for Johnny Walker, let's see. At Volkan? Is Volkan booked right now? If Uzmir's not booked right now, that fight, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah, Volkan Uzmir. Yeah, pretty simple. I really don't think it's that. I don't think it's rocket science. Johnny will, if Johnny moves down the rankings at all, it'll only be like a one spot, and he'll be perked to fight Volkan. I don't know who else he could fight. Maybe Azamat if they want to build Azamat or Menafield, but I think Volkan makes the most sense for Johnny, so let's do it. They've never fought before. It'd be a good fight. Yeah, do it. But yeah, not very much to say about this fight. I'm not surprised with the outcome. Ank's really good, and I feel bad for Johnny to an extent, so yeah. But who should I fight next? Again, I say Magomed should be the backup for Jamal and Yuri. Jamal and Alex, my bad. If Jamal can make 300. And Johnny Walker should fight Volkan Ozdemir. Ank should have to wait for Jamal if Jamal's ready. And Johnny and Ozdemir would be a great fight. It would be a really good, maybe, fight night co-main. Or maybe featured prelim on a pay-per-view. I don't really see that being a pay-per-view fight right now, so yeah. But yeah, that'd be a really good fight, and yeah, not really much more to say. Besides, boom, that's the card. On my picks, I went 8 of 11, 5 perfect, 615 points. Only got 3 wrong, which I'm not mad at. And if you really look at it, Walker was biased. Semelsberger is inconsistent. That's annoying to predict, and Nolan's a fraud, so yeah. The bonuses for the card. Performance of the day only with 4 performance bonuses to Ankalaev, Jim Miller, Ferreira, and McGhee. I would have gave a performance bonus to Ank, McGhee, and Nick Motta, and I would have gave 5 a night to Bautista and Simón. I don't know how you don't give a performance bonus to a dude who smashed a fraud in 63 seconds of a giant underdog. That's fucking stupid. And I don't know how you don't give Bautista, Simón 5 a night when that fight was so good. But whatever, it's UFC. I don't expect much. So, and if you missed a card, what would I say? Rewatch everything, but like, just rewatch the whole card outside the Waldo fight. Skip the Waldo fight. Watch everything else. The card was great. Great card to start the year. Usually the like first cards of the year are usually pretty average fight nights. Cause I remember last year we had Strickland and Imavov. Imavov. And it was alright. The year before we had Cater and Giga. That was alright. That card was okay. Then the year before that we had Max and Cater. Again, another fine card, but this is the first first card of the year I can actually call it like this card was great. When you have 11 fights and 10 of them were really good to great, that's a fucking W card if I've ever seen one. So yeah, I'm happy the first card of the year delivered, and now we head to Canada for the first pay-per-view of the year. That card on paper ain't as good as this one, and it's just not a very strong card. Maybe it'll be really good, but that's for the conversation next week. I'm not very excited about that card, so yeah. But yeah, of course, next time you will hear from me is Friday 1 p.m. EST for a breakdown of UFC 297, and of course, this time next week you'll be, well, if you're watching this when I upload this, Sunday, 1 p.m. EST next week, I'll be doing a recap of that card, so, yeah. But unless I'm forgetting to say something, please like, comment, subscribe. 100 subs goal by the end of 2024. And unless I'm forgetting to say something, which I don't think I am, as always, what the fuck's happened to my voice? As always, RX out. Good vibes only and always.